So I drank too much one time. I was, younger, and I lost my phone and I'm like, I'm just not going to replace this for a few days, and it felt amazing. And I'm like, you know what? The next time I lose or break my phone, I'm just going to not replace it. And it was funny because then a cab driver came to my house a week later with my phone. I'm like, shit, I just freed myself. But then, sure enough, I broke my phone or lost it again a few months later, and then that just was the 3-year journey. It's like eventually this phone you have is going to break. So imagine you said this is my last phone for the decade. So instead of I'm going to get rid of my phone, but this is all I got. I got to take care of this thing. Once it breaks or I lose it, I'm phoneless until 2030. So it was kind of like that mindset, but it was 2020. So I lost the phone, had no phone. Wow. So I didn't have any kids yet. I got married in that window of time. So there was some hard things to overcome. Nobody could reach me when I was out and about.
Right.
But at my house, in my office, I had a computer, I had an iPad.
Right.
So I found myself, I'm like, how often do you even call someone now? You usually use FaceTime or Facebook Messenger call or whatever, Slack. How often do you actually call a person? It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
You don't need phone numbers anymore. So I was like, why don't I just do the iPad or do the computer? And then I did that. And so my memory was quickly getting better. I was memorizing everybody's phone number. It all everyone's phone numbers came back to me. My head GPS was getting really calibrated again. So the bad side was, let's say for Rachel, my wife, she couldn't reach me. But the good side was, if you're with me, I'm 100% present.
Yeah.
So if I said to you, I'm like, yo, I'm going to meet you at this place in this time. By the way, there's no pivots. I'll be there and I'll wait 20 minutes in case you're late and then I'm out.
Yeah.
And I would carry a little tiny journal with me. So if you would tell me something, my favorite part about no phone, man, was not having the ability to Google stuff. It's so quick now that you have a desire for information. So you just punch it in your phone and you just trust that the top thing Google serves you is the truth.
Right.
Instead of pondering it. It's like, hey, when was this thing invented? You're like, when do you think it was invented? You just would outsource your wonder, your curiosity, and your thinking to just cheat and get the answer right away or what you think might be the answer.
Right.
And it's like when you go camping, you have such awesome conversations because you're you take away the Google. So yeah, relationships got way better because I was fully present. And after the first year and a half or 2 years, I got an iPad with a data plan. I think that was the sweet spot.
Really?
I actually got another one again a few weeks ago. I might be transitioning back to phone free again.
I like that.
Because iPad's great. So I have an iPad in my bag.
Yeah.
It's not pocket convenient. It's not walk convenient.
Yeah.
It's not run convenient, but you can keep it in your car. I can pull over. I can do a FaceTime call if I need to.
Right.
So it's it's the in the pocket thing that's just too much. The convenience level's so high. So I find iPad with a data plan is the perfect size phone. And originally when phones came out, they would plug into your car. They were super big. And now they're tiny and they have great battery and cameras and everything.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed not having it. And then when my daughter was born in 2020, I got it back. I'm like, what if, scared dad, I'm like, what if I have to call 911 and I'm with Aria and I don't have it? So I got a truck with OnStar instead.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, if I have OnStar,
you're good.
we're good.
Yeah.
I'll just push the red button. They're supposed to know when I crash. And now, I've been slipping down I had no phone for 2 months before Black Friday last year, and then Black Friday pulled me back in.
Yeah.
But I am entering a period probably in January where I'm going to go quite a long period of time with no phone. Honestly, it's kind of going back to the engineering requirements thing. You don't miss it. Until you've tried eliminating something, you don't know how essential it is or isn't. And it was profound. My memory got better. My presence got better. So I very much, I'm okay to live in a busy life and have a computer at home. But when I go for a walk or I'm meeting someone, I don't really want to be tethered.
Do you feel like a different, this is kind of a weird question, but a different person with and without the phone?
I felt more myself.
Yeah.
And then I started to become a little bit judgmental of other people with phones, which wasn't a good thing because, just because I wanted to have no phone doesn't mean everybody has to. So let's say we'd meet for lunch and you're checking your phone a few times. I didn't realize it till later. I would just first feel annoyed. And then I realized it's actually kind of interesting. Let's say I go for a walk with someone. I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave my phone. And they bring their phone and then they check it a couple times. Even if they just would have it in their pocket on, I didn't realize it was actually like making me feel bad.
Hmm.
And then I think I was feeling the sense of feeling I was getting that I was not enough
Hmm.
because just being with me on a walk wasn't satisfying them. They needed to also be connected to everyone they've ever met.
Right.
I was not checking their box of connection or companion on that walk,
Hmm.
and they needed to be connected to everybody on a moment's notice. So, but you know, you never. I just got more humble with it. I'm like, yo, I don't know if this person's literally kid is in the hospital right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a lot of stuff going on you don't know about.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like brought that kind of gratitude into it of like, hey, you know, maybe grandma's in the hospital, maybe their sister's about to have a baby. So I would just kind of like hold that, being like, you know, I'm just gonna give them the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
and assume they really need this phone right now,
Hmm.
instead of like, because I wouldn't call people out because that
Hmm.
wasn't really helpful. But yeah, you feel a lot different.
Wow.
And then usually, let's say you want to work. I was more productive in a couple hours a day. And even now, man, I use Notion a lot less than I used to.
Right.
I don't have a project management system. I don't have a to-do system. I have nothing. I only have sticky notes.
Hmm.
So in that bag, I have 4 colors of sticky notes.
Wow.
Purple is for in-person tasks. Yellow is for virtual tasks. Red is for like physical working out style tasks.
Hmm.
So I have 4 different colors. And it matches the color code in my calendar. But I find sticky notes, dude, in the last couple of years since I moved to sticky notes only, I literally invented products, like all the amount of output I've gotten and productivity. I just have a huge sticky note of my big goals, and then I put smaller sticky notes underneath of the next milestones. And then when I go out for the day, it's like, am I going to accomplish anything in the direction of any of those milestones today? If yes, I just bring those sticky notes with me.
That's huge.
No, like your memory
Such
is
a hack.
so awesome already.
Yeah.
You don't need a to-do list.
Right.
You could just wake up and be like, what are important projects today? Oh, creating this product. Let's say you want to create this product. Okay, creating this product that's important. What's the next step? Where are we at? You already know. You have a crazy memory. It has an unbelievable amount of bandwidth. And I think people try to capture perfectly and take amazing notes because they're afraid of losing past thoughts. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Your brain is a perfect machine at remembering the most important information and intentionally forgetting the stuff that doesn't serve you anymore.
Yeah.
So just like leaning into my actual memory and some sticky notes, I'm so much more productive. Because if you have a to-do list, it's very stressful because you judge yourself and then you're mad. And let's say you somehow crossed off everything on the to-do list. What would you do? You'd make a new list. So it's actually an elusive thing
Yeah.
to be done, the to-do list. There's no such thing. So just getting rid of the phone and getting rid of the to-do list. And then instead of, when I lived in British Columbia, my commute was a 90-minute hike each way to work. So it was a beautiful hike through the
That's
mountains.
awesome.
120 flights of stairs in total and about 27,000 steps.
Wow.
But by the time I would get to my office, I would rent this little glass office downtown. But it was a hike over a mountain, all along a lake. I'd get to downtown Kelowna. By the time I got there, I would have my phone with me. Through there, I would get realizations, and I would just send voice notes to people. And then when I get to the office, I only had 20 minutes of stuff to do because I was so clear on the stuff that mattered most, maybe an hour, and then I would head my walk back. So, and I'd stop at the beach, bring my little grill, cook my eggs, do my thing. But yeah, by increasing, Charlie Munger said, if all you ever do is think and read, all you ever have to do is think and read. Meaning like you'll be so wise and aware that you'll just make such few decisions and high quality decisions that won't require a bunch of busy work in between. So yeah, like somehow losing the phone. When I did my decade review, my goal by the end of this decade is to not have a computer or phone anymore. I want to have an assistant who lives on a secondary structure on my property or like a few minutes away, and she'll have a phone and we'll just go for walk and talks together, and she can be like my conduit to the rest of the world.
Wow.
And then other than that, I'll just want to meet people in person. And living in Austin, there's enough people here
Yeah.
that I don't need the whole world.
Enough cool people.
Plenty.
Yeah.
And if you keep doing cool
love it.
shit, like, look, I came to see you today on your home turf. The more your pod grows,
Yeah.
and the more your reputation grows, the farther people will travel and fly to come sit in this chair,
Yeah.
and you won't have to run around and chase them anymore. So
Yeah. I love it.
no
I love it.
phone, no to-do list.